Good day, everyone. Welcome to our Understanding the Self subject. This will be our last lesson in Understanding the Self under Chapter 3 Managing and Caring for the Self, specifically developing emotional resilience and self discipline. Here are our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to first define emotional resilience and self discipline. Second is to identify behaviors that demonstrate resilience in daily life. Third is to recognize habits that strengthen self discipline. And fourth is to apply strategies to manage emotions and stay disciplined academically and personally. Here are our table of contents. The first one, what is emotional resilience? Second, key characteristics of a resilient person. Third, why emotional resilience matters. Fourth, what are the common challenges to resilience? Fifth is how to build emotional resilience. And for the part two, sixth, what is self discipline? Seventh, signs of good self discipline. Eighth, are the obstacles to self discipline. And lastly, are the ways or strategies on how to strengthen your self discipline. Again, for this lesson, we will talk about how we can strengthen our emotional well being and build discipline so we can perform better in school, in your relationships, and personal life. So let's begin with the question, what is emotional resilience? So, emotional resilience is the ability to cope with stress, adversity, and challenges while maintaining mental and emotional balance. It is not avoiding problems, but adapting and recovering from them. So kapag pinag-uusapan natin ang emotional resilience, ito yung tumutukoy sa ability natin na mag-handle ng stress, mag-handle ng pressure, o kaya naman ay mga pagsubok while still maintaining emotional balance. So in simple terms, ito yung kakayahan mong makabounce back kapag meron kang problema. Being resilient doesn't mean you don't feel sad or hindi ka nai-stress. It just means that you can deal with your emotions and still move forward. What are the characteristics or key characteristics of a resilient person? So, a resilient person stays calm under pressure, adapts to change, uses setbacks as learning opportunities, marunong mag-maintain ng positive mindset despite the situation, seeks support when needed, no? Kasi minsan baka ang naiisip natin kapag resilient, kaya niyang tumayo sa sarili niyang mga paa wherein hindi na humihingi ng tulong sa iba. Pero gusto ko lang linawin na isa sa mga abilidad or key personality ng isang resilient na tao ay marunong siyang humingi ng tulong, no? Able to ask help when needed. And then practices self-awareness. So yun ulit, paulit-ulit lang tayo when it comes to self-awareness. It is very important, no, na alam mo ikaw mismo sa sarili mo yung habits mo, routines mo, patterns, your strengths and weaknesses. Kasi nga, bumabalik tayo doon sa dahilan na hindi natin mababago yung mga bagay na hindi natin alam patungkol sa ating sarili. Okay? For example, imagine you studied hard for a quiz. However, you failed. A resilient person might feel disappointed, no? Syempre, normal yan. But after feeling that emotion, they will say, okay, what can I improve next time? Okay, so hindi sila nawawalan ng pag-asa. They learn, they adjust, and they try again. That is a resilient person or student. Next, why emotional resilience matters? It reduces stress and burnout, improves decision making, strengthens relationships, enhances academic and work performance, and builds confidence and inner stability. So, emotional resilience is very important, no, because it helps you stay calm and think clearly even when things are stressful. So, kung resilient ka, mas kaya mo mag-adjust sa big changes like academic pressure, family problems, o kaya naman personal struggles, no? It also reduces burnout, okay? It helps you improve your decision making and also strengthens your mental health. Next are the common challenges to resilience. No, of course, we all have challenges that make resilience difficult, katulad na lang ng negative thinking or mga overthinking, negative self-talk, fear of failure, lack of emotional awareness, poor stress management, unsupportive environment, overthinking, and self-doubt. So, itong mga challenges na ito ay normal. However, the good news is this: resilience is a skill. 'Pag sinabi nating skill, pwede siyang ma-develop, puwedeng matutunan despite having these challenges. Next, building emotional resilience, 'no? To strengthen your resilience, try these practices. I have here strategies. The first one is mindfulness and grounding. Ibig sabihin you have to pause, okay? Pahinga ka muna, breathe in order for you to calm your mind, okay? When we are talking about grounding, it means being humble, okay? Even though you have achieved so much in life, okay, naka-perfect ka sa lahat ng exam, still be grounded, okay? Sabi nga ay mata sa taas, paa sa baba. Ibig sabihin, i-look forward mo yung achievements mo. Magkaroon ka ng mataas na pangarap, but still, even if you achieve those dreams, no, those plans, those goals, still be grounded. Dapat ang paa mo ay nasa ground pa rin. Okay, nasa lupa, hindi ka umaangat kasi ibig sabihin, pag umaangat, tumalaki ang iyong ulo, nagiging mayabang ka. Next is positive self-talk. Actually, this is very important. No? Self-encouragement. Kung hindi ka kayang i-boost or i-encourage, i-admire ng mga tao sa paligid mo, you have to do this for yourself. Replace "I can't" with "I'll try again." Next ay healthy coping mechanisms like exercise, journaling, or rest. Okay, walking, talking to someone. There are a lot of healthy coping mechanisms. You might want to try this, the things that I've said. Number 4 is to seek support, no? Connecting with supportive people, just like what I've told you earlier. You have to choose those people that you will let inside your circle. Okay? Be very choosy in finding friends or considering who are your friends, because they have a lot of time to spend with you, which means they have this high possibility to influence you. Okay? Next ay goal setting and planning. And lastly, accepting mistakes as part of growth. So you have to accept imperfection. Mistakes are part of growth. Next, what is self-discipline? Self-discipline is the ability to control impulses, stay focused, and follow through with goals even when it is difficult. So, just like in the two types of goals, short-term and long-term, meron ding long-term success, no? So, you have to choose long-term success over short-term comfort. Dito naman ay differentiation. Okay? What else? Again, I'd like to highlight na when we are talking about self-discipline, this is your ability to control your behavior. Okay, your time, your focus, no, in order for you to reach your goals. So, sa madaling salita, ito yung kakayahan mong gawin ang dapat. Okay, kahit minsan wala ka sa mood, minsan tinatamad ka, ang daming dahilan. Discipline is choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. Next, we have the signs of good discipline: finishing tasks on time, avoiding distractions, making consistent progress on goals, following routines, prioritizing responsibilities over things that you want to do, you like to do, mga leisure time, no? Basta matapos muna lahat ng kailangang tapusin, yung mga gustong gawin or tapusin ay to follow. Okay? Next ay managing time effectively. So I'll give you some examples, or let me think of an example when it comes to self-discipline. No? For example, you plan to study at 7 p.m. When we are talking about self-discipline, that means that you will study at that time, even if you want to scroll on your phone, to sleep, to do other things. No, it is the ability to follow through with your commitments. That is self-discipline. And then, let me just add some more when it comes to this signs of good discipline. No? These habits help them achieve your goal. Okay, you have to stay committed even when things or the situations are difficult. Okay, next are the obstacles to self discipline. Okay, there are signs of good self discipline. However, there are also obstacles, and there are many of them. Okay, na ano ba yung mga obstacles or barriers that could hinder, disrupt, interrupt you being disciplined? Procrastination, ayan na naman tayo, babalik lang din tayo sa pagka-cramming, 'no? Nagka-cramming tayo dahil kulang tayo sa oras, dahil may ginawa tayong mga bagay na hindi naman kailangang i-prioritize or hindi naman importante, okay? Just like what I've told you before, okay lang ang cramming or procrastination. However, if it becomes habitual, kapag palagian mo ng ginagawa, dun siya nagiging negative. Dun ka hihilahin nun pababa. What else? Distractions like social media, noise, peers, lack of motivation, poor time management, emotional instability. Okay? Di mo na maintindihan kung ano yung emosyon na gusto mong ilapat sa sitwasyon or yung gusto mong ibigay. Paiba-iba ka, no? Ng emosyon na ibinibigay sa isang particular na pagkakataon. Inconsistent routines, or you have no clear goals or no clear priorities. So actually, these are normal struggles. Lahat naman tayo dumadaan dito. Pero kung palagi na lang ito ng ito, yung obstacle mo, hindi mo nagagawa ng paraan, dun ka na rin hihilahin ito pababa. Okay? Kasi kapag merong problema, na nakita mo na problema to, the first thing you have to do is for you to research or to know what are the things you need to do in order to make this not an obstacle anymore. Ito yung problema. Isang linggo ko na nararanasan 'tong problemang 'to. Siyempre, the first thing you need to do, you have to do, 'no? Kasi okey ka na sa self-aware, alam mo na yun yung problema. Hanapin mo naman kung paano malulutas yung problema. Kasi if nag-stay lang siya as obstacle, maybe the problem is not the situation itself, not the, obstacle itself, but is you. Baka ikaw na yung problema. Kasi alam mo na yun yung kailangang gawan ng paraan, pero wala kang ginagawa, okey? Next, strengthening self-discipline, babalik tayo sa SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, okay? Reliable, relevant, okay? And then time-bounded or time-bound. You have to improve your self-discipline by following these bulleted points, no? Break tasks into smaller steps, no? Para hindi overwhelming. You have to use planners or timers, of course, to manage your time better. Limit distractions. Put your phone away while studying or other distractions. Kung alam mo distractions, limitahan mo na ang oras doon. Maglagay ng boundary or limit. Next, reward yourself after completing tasks. Okay? Practice delayed gratification. When we are talking about delayed gratification, kapag gusto mo yung isang bagay, hindi mo agad siya ginagrab. Okay? Nag-aantay ka ng tamang pagkakataon. Okay? O kaya naman ay naglalaan ka pa ng mas mahabang effort. So, para pag nakuha mo yung result, mas masarap siya sa feeling. No? Nade-delay yung gratification. But it becomes more fulfilling, more satisfying because you have this self-discipline na hindi mo agad siya ginrab. No, inantay mo yung right time for you to have it. Establish daily routines, track progress, weekly. So you have to be very consistent because discipline grows through repetition, through your habits, through your routines. Next would be, what is the connection between resilience and self discipline? So these two skills work together. Resilience helps you bounce back when discipline fails. This helps you recover when things go wrong. Self discipline keeps you moving even when challenges arise. Okay, so kahit mahirap yung sitwasyon, move forward ka lang because you have that self discipline. Both are essential for academic success and personal growth. So, together, they help you become stronger, more focused, and more capable of reaching your goals. Real life examples, let's look at some realistic situations. No, continuing to study after failing a quiz. So, resilience helps you try again, discipline helps you study consistently. Waking up early despite being tired. Okay? Managing emotions during conflicts. Kapag mahirap na yung sitwasyon, nakakagalit yung sitwasyon, nakakalungkot yung sitwasyon, hindi ka kagad magbabato ng emosyon or ng mga salita na hindi mo pinag-iisipan. No, you have to have that self-discipline in order for you to control your emotions. No? Para siyang crisis management. Okay? You're able to manage the situation, the problem. Dahil kapag nagsalita ka lang, nagsalita dyan, nilabas mo lang na nilabas yung emotion mo without thinking deeper about what your response should be, ay lalaki at lalaki lang yung problema. What else? Saving money even when tempted to spend, no? Yung mga peer pressure, yayaan ng yayaan, kahit budget naman talaga or limited lang naman talaga ang budget or ang money or an income, no? So discipline helps you choose what's right. Resilience helps you resist pressure. And then, staying focused despite distractions. So, magfo-fall siya under stress and deadlines. Resilience keeps you emotionally steady. Discipline helps you complete your tasks. Okay? And for our summary, to summarize our lesson 4, emotional resilience equals adapting to challenges. It helps you cope and recover. When we are talking about self discipline, this means controlling behavior to reach goals. No? It helps you act and stay focused. Both skills help maintain mental well being. So, yung parehong skills na yon, self resilience, self discipline, or emotional resilience and self-discipline, parehong importante sa school, sa relationships, and sa long-term goals. Practice, awareness, and habits strengthen both. So, kapag na-develop mo na itong dalawang ito, you become more confident and capable of handling life's challenges. Okay, that's it for our last lesson in understanding the self. Thank you for listening. I hope today's lesson helps you to take care of your emotions, your habits, and your goals. You have to remember that progress is not about perfection, it is about consistency. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.